Alright folks, this is a possible fix for any of you using the Orbit automated water system sprinkler or drip. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but it has these little water valves that plug into the main controller, and it seems a lot of people complain about these only lasting, about 2 seasons. And to be honest with you, that's about what I get out of it, because I just forget to get it in early enough before it really starts to get cold. So these, this one here and another one I'm about to show you is about 2 seasons old. When I just plugged it, here back in April 2018, I plugged it in, started letting the water flow through it, and it started, leaking out the top and all the sides. And at that point, I just assumed it was bad. I've been through that before, and ran out and bought another one, and decided to play with these 2 that I assumed were broken. And so I pried it apart. And just this is the unit that, here's the numbers on the unit I have, and the model number also, if anybody you see that. And so my main goal of prying it apart was actually just kind of look how the cable was, because I really want longer cables to have my controller box further away. And in prying it apart, it came out in pieces, and I didn't know what to expect. And so when I did get it apart, and it just kind of fell apart in my hands, just like this one sitting here, it fell apart just like this. And keynote here is this piece and this piece were quite interesting to me, because they're threaded, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, these are threaded, why they just fall apart inside this box? I really thought this was in here. I thought this really was going to be a sealed system, and it's not. It's just connectors. And as you can see here, when I started looking at, here's this pin, which goes pretty much into, if I'm saying the parts are right, to a solenoid, this guy here, and that pin just sits down in that hole, pointing part facing us. And then it just goes into where the water goes, right into here. And like I said, when I opened the first one, it all fell apart just like this, right into my hands, which is this guy here. And so I'm like, well, it looks like it should just be put back together and everything would be okay. So I dropped the pin in and screwed it back together, and just took it out back, put it on my controller just like this, hooked up the water lines, plugged it in, and just told this valve to come on for a minute, and it worked perfect. It wasn't leaking or anything. So again, on this guy, all I did was just put him here, put the pin back in just like this, see the tip facing out, and it's kind of hard to do here with the cell phone. I'm trying to make this video. And then just put it back here like so, and screwed it in. Oh, I'll get this video thing right here. Alright, so watch this. I'll drop this out. It's just a rubber gasket. Easy enough. You can see how it goes. Goes in like that. There's the reverse side. Drop it in. Get this guy with the pin in place, screw it in, just hand tight, and it should be good to go. I had no leaks whatsoever. Is why it came apart? I don't know. Again, it's just kind of like, a faucet screwed together. I don't know if, some water expansion makes it, how it unscrews enough. Wasn't never screwed again tight enough. I don't know, but screwing it back together, boom, no problem. Real quick on the casing here. You can see the points where it snaps. Those were the points of snapping. I use just 2 flathead screwdrivers to pry it apart. If you just do so carefully, and just notice the points on this one, where it goes together, hopefully you won't break yours when you pry it apart. And no use going out and spending another $16, $17, a valve, whether it be at Lowe's or online. and hopefully you do an easy repair. That's it. Sorry for the poor quality, but hey, just a quick cell phone video. I hope it helps.